All right. All right, all right, all right. Here we are. Whew. You would not believe what I just went through trying to set up some sort of lighting for this. It's a freaking night. I got a lamp over here that's from the bedroom. I put a flashlight over here so you guys can see the old Clint Eastwood out there in the background. You guys missed that from LA. And I'm going to try to light up a cigar. It's got this weird end on it. I don't know what happened to this thing, but... Probably should have done that before I started the video. I usually do this with a wooden match, but I tried to do it earlier for another video. I just shot a little preamble for the unboxing and first impressions of a cigar humidor that was sent to me by this company called Need One. And yeah, so that's over with. Anyhow, welcome to a midweek chat. Here I am in Huachuca City, Arizona. Bear with me while I get this sucker going here. We'll get that going. I need a drink after all that. Holy cow. Throw something else on the fire here. See if we can get that going for you. So, it's been an interesting time here. I don't even remember how long I've been here. But last night was... stuff in my pockets here. Last night was New Year's Eve. Welcome to January 1st, 2025. First video of 2025 with chapped lips. I'm a mess right now. This is ridiculous. I did New Year's Eve there with my buddy Kevin and his girl Gretchen. Gretchen Bonaducci, of all people. Yes, she was married to Danny, and she doesn't like to talk about it, so we'll leave it at that. You might be able to understand why. And I remember when Kevin... So this goes back to, gee whiz, knowing Kevin. I met Kevin... I think he started coming around in like 2007, 2008. I've been riding with this group of guys, the Cretans. About 2003, I think I started hanging out with those guys. And, yeah, and then he came around, and then not long after that, year or two later, he started bringing Gretchen around, and they're super nice people. And that's really all there is to say about that. You know, we hung out, we did some stuff, and they were super cool. I didn't try to get too involved with them. I had my own stuff going on. But we have another mutual friend. You guys remember Rick, Captain Rick. I did a video with him here on the channel in LA. And Rick and I have had a bunch of great bonding experience. And he told me that Kevin and Gretchen were living here in Bisbee. I had no idea. So, the 28th was my birthday. And went up to Bisbee. And they have a restaurant there. La Cornucopia, I think it's called. Lee Cornucopia, I think it's called. World famous, apparently. They also have a location here in Sierra Vista. Anyhow, it was awesome seeing him again. I hadn't seen him in so long, and we really like each other, Kevin and I. He's a great guy. Bought me lunch, had the meatloaf sandwich. It was delicious. I highly recommend it. I think Friday, if things work out, I'm going to go up there and do a video with them in the restaurant. So you guys should enjoy that. Anyhow, so New Year's Eve was about to happen. He took me around, walking me around, introduced me to this guy, Mike. He owns the Legion Bar and Grill. It used to be the old American Legion building in Bisbee. Mike's from Jersey. He's from Jersey City. And great guy. It's really amazing. Kevin walked me around Bisbee just introducing me to, important people, like the people that own businesses and properties and things like that. So that was really cool of him. And then last night, which, you know what? Let me insert a little bit right here. You probably saw a little bit of a picture in the beginning of this. There was a sign, like all in lights, not a sign, but somebody did a whole fence of lighting there. You just saw it. It actually says Happy New Year. I think it says 2025 too. All right, so there was a couple clips there from last night. They had this horn band with even with a trombone up on the stage. It was pretty good. They kind of do like a New Orleans style thing, which ironically, we had this incident here in New Orleans. I had no idea that that was going on. Somebody, I wish you guys wouldn't do this. You know, I do a video, and then in the comments, you guys will mention things that have nothing to do with the video. And I have no idea what's going on. I'm not really watching the news. I don't even have a TV here in Arizona. So I found out about it today when I got on the internet. So prayers go out to those people. That's a crazy situation. I can't speak to it because I don't know anything else about it. At any rate, last night was a good time. I intended to walk around Bisbee and kind of like bar hop. But what they had going on at that location was good enough for me. And there was this beautiful woman who's going to be managing the bar. Her name is Sistine. She was amazing. That was enough for me to look at, you know. I was very happy with that situation. So it's hard to keep a good cigar going, you know. The cheap ones keep going. This cigar was sent to me by one of you. You can put in the comments who you are because, forgive me, I forgot. At any rate, it's been an interesting trip here already. It's funny. I intended to do more videos. You know, when I'm in LA, I don't have any distractions. It's just me. So I can do whatever I want. I have a thought, boom, boom, boom. I can just do it. Here, my sister's come over with her kid and then her son. He and I were hanging out. I got friends here. I've been hanging out with them. Tomorrow night I'm doing a dinner, elk steaks, with an attorney friend of mine here in Sierra Vista. So there's a lot going on. And then I've been working in the yard here. I cut this tree down, then I had to cut all those branches up. burning some of that tonight. I set up a workout area. I got the heavy bag hanging up here. I got my straps hanging from the bar here so I could do leg lifts and work my abs. I did some erect rows today for some shoulders. I did a little bit of everything today. Just wanted to hit the whole body because it's been a long time. You know what was great? I brought my wrist wraps and my bag gloves, and I worked out on that bag. Not very long, 5, 8, maybe 10 minutes. Pretty much swinging the whole time, like taking a couple little breathers. And I'm a dangerous man. I'm a dangerous man. I can hit. And it felt, I got a whole body workout from it. You know what's interesting? I got online the other day, and the guy was asking $70 for a really super heavy duty adjustable bench. And 3 25-pound dumbbells, a 40-pound dumbbell, a bunch of steel plates, an easy curl bar, 2 25-pound vintage wider steel plates, excuse me, cast iron, I suppose. And it was such a good deal. I couldn't not do it. And it included another heavy bag. You know what that means? That means I could bring my old heavy bag back to LA because I've really missed it. I used to hang it where it will be. There's a pull-up bar in my living room as you go into the kitchen, and the bag was always hanging to the side there. And it was great because every day, whenever I walked by it, pop, 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 I could just do a little combination. And I didn't have to hit it hard. It was more about just practicing distance and speed, twitch reaction. It's one of those things I enjoy doing, and I've missed it since I brought the bag here. So I'm going to bring the extra bag back to Los Angeles. That's going to make me much happier. There's a lot that's going to happen here. It's a weird thing. You guys know already. I keep mentioning it. I don't mean to be like throwing my sister under the bus or anything. I love my sister, but she's got to get her stuff out of here because I don't have the place to myself yet. So hopefully she will. She's listening, and we'll get that stuff out of here. So the next time I come, I can actually start working on the house. I can't even set up a shop right now in the garage. So I'm a little aggravated about that, and I don't know how else to deal with it other than to be cool and keep asking her. You know what I mean? Like, it's a tough situation for me. But it's all going to happen. I also went up here to this guy, Tracy, who he runs the Mr. Shed over here on the 90 in Huachuca City. And he's a great guy. I can't say enough about him. So he gave me all the names of the pertinent people that are on the town council here that I have to talk to about doing some work on the house. Because one of the things I want to do is I want to extend the height of the wall around the property here. I want to close off the gate. I'd like to do a bump out on the garage. I've mentioned that already in another video. And it seems like everything I want to do will, according to him, can be done. It's just about getting those permits and doing everything that, you know, it's got to be copacetic. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to work on that. What else can I tell you? I actually got on the horn today. Let me show you a funny shot of this. You guys will get a kick out of this. So that there, that's Sarge, Jordan Sargent, Sarge Inc. I was talking to him today. We did a little voice call. It was just the way he answered his phone, had it crossways. We laughed about that. And he's so funny. I helped him get to 1,000 subscribers. And so he tells me that I'm his Wonder Hussy. But just like Wonder Hussy helped me. Of course, I had, before I met Wonder Hussy, I had like 4,000 something subscribers. But because of her, a lot of you are here because of Sarah. And thank you for that. And thank you, Sarah, for that. Excuse me. And I just believe in us all helping one another if we can. So he's a really fun guy, great guy. I'm trying to think. Oh, I can't remember the guy's name. We'll get to it because it came up in the conversation. I want to say Jeff Dunham, but that's not the guy. There's a comedian that lives in Bisbee. We were talking about. Turns out, you guys will know who it is. Apparently he goes on Rogan and all this. I'm not really sure who he is. I'm sure if I saw his face, I'd recognize him. But last night, while I was out, having a good time, meeting all these people that Kevin was introducing me to, meeting all these people that own businesses and everything in town. And again, Kevin keeps introducing me as a master craftsman, which isn't a lie. I'm sitting there, I'm talking to this guy, and just having a good time, making people laugh, you know. And he looks at me and goes, well, are you a comedian? And I said, well, that's something I'd love to do. I've kind of been working on it, been writing some stuff, and I've been talking and threatening you guys to do some bits here on the channel. It was just a funny thing that he said that, and we started talking about it, and it turns out that this famous comedian, who I can't remember his name right now, how horrible is that? It's terrible. I shouldn't be talking about it if I can't remember his name. They're all friends with this guy. And so they want to introduce me to him and bring me over to his pad, because apparently he has comedians come there and do a thing. You guys are going to write in the comments who this guy is, and hopefully that'll work out. You guys might remember I was in Pahrump this summer delivering a table, and I was hanging out at the Lowside Cigar Lounge, and Matt, who owns that, was telling me there's a comedian there in town, and he and I got together, and after talking for 5 hours, he was like, dude, you should be doing that. So it's just, something weird is happening right now in my life. It's positive. It's all positive. It's just kind of hard for me to wrap my head around it. You know, working out the stuff with the VA stuff, and the YouTube's doing pretty well. And, you know, I was talking about Jordan there because we were talking about ideas to help him with his channel. Jordan did a video the other day about how much money he's made since he got monetized. And he doesn't have that many videos up yet. So I was giving him some advice on that. And he would like to do a live stream with me for his channel, so we'll do that. That'll be fun. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. At some point, I am going to drive up to Washington State, visit with Chris, the guy, Broadwinger Boots, the guy that makes my boots. His dad's a falconer, and that'll be fun. And then I'm going to cross the border into Canada there, hopefully, and hang out with Jordan. And maybe we'll do a canoe trip or something like that. That's the sort of thing he likes doing. He also has an Astro van. Apparently, according to him, he and I are two of the, you know, I don't know how to put it, but if you're an Astro van owner, you've seen our videos. So that's kind of a neat thing, a little niche thing there. It's just really interesting right now what's going on, and all the possibilities that are all positive in my life. And so I just want to share that with you guys. You know, this is 2025. The last 4 years, as we know, been garbage for a lot of us, right? And now, of course, this year, since this past fall, since October, November, we've been having all this, you know, the drone UAP, UFO thing happening, and it's happening all over the world. It's just not New Jersey. It's happening a lot right here in the U.S. There's been a bunch of stuff happening here in Arizona, not around here apparently. At least I haven't seen anything yet. And I'll tell you, you know, there's no light here, so you could see everything up in the sky. It's pretty amazing. Excuse me. So I just think, like, it's not that I think, I'm just experiencing this situation right now with all these possibilities, all this bizarre. You know, it's going to be crazy if something starts happening and my life looks like it's on this upward trajectory where everything looks like it's going to be awesome, and I can start pulling in some serious coin and just hang out, make videos for you guys and entertain people, and maybe I can make people laugh and feel good and all that good stuff. And then the freaking UFO is going to show up and go, hey, here's the deal. The Earth is coming closer to this thing, space, whatever it is going to create a huge cataclysmic event on the planet. It's going to kill off most of the life. That's my luck. That is just my luck right there. That's how I know. That's how I know something's about to happen, because things are looking really good right now. It's the universe. It's like a little tease for you. Everything's looking great. In the next 48 hours, tidal waves and fires and earthquakes and volcanoes going off, and I'll probably survive it, you know, and then I'll have the Astro van, and it'll be like, you know, Mad Max or something. It'll be this apocalyptic scenario going on, and I'll still be helping people. But, you know, there won't be any electricity anymore, you know. We'll have to get, figure out some sort of system with tubes and shit to get gasoline out of all the gas stations, to keep the cars going as long as you can. Yeah. I don't like using the lighter for this. There we go. I like to blow through the cigar from time to time. At any rate, that's really what's happening, It's an interesting place here. So where I'm at, it's called Huachuca City. I got to address a few things because of the comments and everything else. The stones, I talk about getting rid of the stones. I talk about putting a little patch of grass here and growing food and everything else. Everybody's trying to give me this advice, which is against all that. But you guys have to understand something. Huachuca City is not Tucson. It's not Phoenix. And by the way, there's places in Arizona that actually get pretty friggin' cold, like Flagstaff, for instance, or where my brother is in Williams, where they get snow all the time. It turns out Bisbee is a mile high. I mean, last night it was 38 degrees right here. It's going to be that cold now. I'm just happen to be close enough to a fire where I'm kind of warm here now. So I'm just telling you. So when it's 110 degrees in Tucson, it might only be 90 degrees here, which isn't, chilly. But I'm just saying, of course it gets to 100 degrees here, but it's just not that bad. Bisbee's much nicer. And I'll tell you, I also had some weird comments. A couple of guys, trolls in the comments, Bisbee's gay, all this other stuff. Yeah, there's definitely some eclectic people, let's say, in Bisbee. Artist types. I like those people. That makes a town interesting. I think there's like 7,000 people that live there or something. There in Warren, that little area. So it's a tight-knit, small community of interesting, quirky, artistic people. And I personally like that. I wouldn't want to be hanging out with just a bunch of people who think one way. Sorry, man. Yeah, I'm a Trump guy, I'm more conservative-minded. I believe in less government. I'm more of a conservatarian. I believe in a strong military and all these things. And I like what's happening already with Trump. He's not even president yet, So, and there's people up there that are definitely more liberal. But the people I'm meeting who are that way are also business people. So they see the benefit of what's happening right now. All right. I don't like the idea of just blanketly being disparaging towards people that don't think exactly the same way I do. And I don't think you should be the same way either. I'm just putting that out there. I would much prefer to be living in Bisbee, to be honest with you. So anyhow, Huachuca City's here, Sierra Vista's here, Tombstone's over here, Bisbee's down here. And when I say down here, it's over here, but it's up there. You know what I'm saying? It's a little closer to the border. And it's just a beautiful area. It's pretty green around here, especially on the mountains. There's a bunch of mountains. Carr Canyon is over here. Usually you guys will see me drive up there. I don't think I'm going to do that this trip. So it's a nice place to be, and there's a lot of history around here. Of course, Fort Huachuca's right here, and that's where the Buffalo Soldiers were. You guys, if you don't know who they are, you should look them up. Matter of fact, I think, I could be wrong, but you know me. I'm not that hung up on being right. I think they also did a thing here with bicycles, like around the turn of the last century, where they rode bikes all the way up into the Rockies or something. Single gear bikes with something like 40 pounds on them. A black troop doing that, just to prove the viability of the bicycle. Of course, they did all that, and then trucks came out, so they didn't need to use the bicycles. But it's a great story. You guys should look that up. Yeah. It's a good place to be. I like the comments. You guys are happy that I'm here. Keep in mind, I'm not living here right now. I'm just visiting the house. I got to go back to LA. I got a lot of stuff I have to do. I'm doing some projects at the house where I have the workshop. And I have to do a fireplace mantle for a guy. And there's always stuff coming up. But one of the things that happened here, I think I might have mentioned this in an earlier video, was on my birthday, when I was talking with Kevin, and he introduced me to Mike, the guy who owns the Legion. He also has a contracting company called East Coast Construction, and he's doing all this work in Bisbee. Mike offered me a job. He wanted me to start 2 days ago, and I told him I can't do it because I have to leave. But also, we didn't talk money or anything, and that was kind of the end of it. But he gave me his card, and he was serious about talking to me. So what I did was, I went ahead and sent him an email. And in the email, I hope you guys can see me on camera. I'm going to grab some wood and throw it on the fire while I'm talking here. I forgot to look at the watch here. It's 20 to 8 right now. So in the email, I sent him some links to my work. I sent him some pictures, and just let him know, what I'm all about, and that I kind of do the higher end stuff and blah blah blah. I'm not really interested in working for somebody else. I'd like to know, like what's the going rate here, hourly, that sort of thing. So last night it was great because I was able to talk to him about that. And he was really cool, man. As it turns out, he's really just running his company. He's not actually doing the work. And what I'm hearing about this area, and this is something I heard from Tracy up here, I've been hearing it from him for years, is that it's very hard for them to find quality people, workers. It's very hard for them to find people who will come to work on time, keep a job for a while. It's like, forgive me if you're a craftsman and you live in the area. Clearly I'm not talking about you if you're a hard worker. But from what I'm hearing, it's just hard to find quality workers here. Now, it might be because maybe maybe people don't want to pay enough here for people that know what they're doing. So maybe those people gravitate to other areas. That could be the case. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. But the point is that I want to make here is, if something goes sideways in LA, like there's a situation that's brewing there. Where I live, there's 3 properties. They're all owned by the same person. And there's a management company. 2 buildings over, same owner, same manager. There's a parking lot behind my apartment, and there's 2 buildings over, same thing. And it's a small area, and they went ahead and built 2 elevated apartments, and they're going to have the parking still underneath. And that's horrible. It's been horrible for the neighborhood because the people who live there can't park in there while they're building it. I've looked at the plans. The plans are such where you only have 7 feet of height underneath the parking. Well, I can't get my van in there. Excuse me. And they're threatening to do that behind where I live. So I don't even know who would want to live in a parking lot, personally. It'll be a brand new apartment, but ooh, that's warm. That's a fire. Now that's a fire. Why would you want to live in a parking lot? You have no view of anything. Every window you're looking out, there's going to be a wall within 30 feet of you of another house. It's horrible. It's just greed is all it is. And it's a shame. If they decide to build that behind my apartment, effectively they're forcing me out because I want to have a place to park the van, and I'm not going to park the van on the street. You guys know how that goes, There's a bunch of little dents in the van from that. Plus, I keep stuff in the van at times. It's dangerous in Los Angeles. Very easy for, cars get broken into all the time, including in my neighborhood. I might have put a little bit too much wood on that fire. Woo! You get a little sunburn here. I'm suffering for you. Suffering for my art here. So, my point is, whether it's that or something else, I'm in a situation now, if I had to leave LA and come here, I could do it, and I'm pretty confident that I can get work. Up until a few days ago, I didn't have that confidence. My thought was, eventually I'd move here, I'll set up a workshop, I'll try to drum up some work. Another positive, and I don't know the name of this business either, but right here in Sierra Vista, there's a hardwood supplier. This is like Bonhoff Lumber in Los Angeles. I haven't been there yet. I'm going to try to get over there tomorrow and introduce myself, tell them what I do, show them pictures of my stuff, tell them I'm thinking about moving into town, and that's going to be good for me, right? Because they're going to know the right people as well. So what I'm saying is, and all of you right now are going, yeah, do it already. This is actually a pretty good fit for me in a lot of ways. So bear with me. Don't rush me. I'm taking my time. There's a funny thing here about this as I turn my back on the fire because my leg is getting hot. I like my pad in LA. I love my apartment. I love being on a second level. I feel safe in a second level. With this place here being all single floor, if somebody wants to go through a window and get at you, they can do it, you know? So I've got some kooky ideas about some... Do you guys remember the outlaw Josie Wales? And towards the end of the film there, they're on this trek, you know, to find this location that this old lady's son wrote her in letters about. And they find this structure, and it's got these big, heavy wooden shutters, and it looks like crucifixes cut out of them. And she's all excited because she thinks he was a religious man. And then Josie Wales points out, no, this is a defensible position. And these slits here are for, you know, firing weapons. And this wood is thick enough to stop a bullet. That's what I'm going to do on this house. I know, you're like, you're crazy, but that's what I'm going to do. It's the only thing that will make me feel secure on a ground level home. I talked to a cop today, right here in front of the house, stopped him. I got to keep the cigar going. Told him what I was about to do here. I said, I'm kind of survivalist minded. And he goes, oh, that's good. That's a good thing. So I told him I want to grow food and everything else and wanted to get to know him, let him know I'm on their side. Mentioned my sister. He knows who she is. He told me I got to warn her about her speeding in the neighborhood. If I say something like that to my sister, she's going to freak out. Crazy situation, guys, I got to tell you. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. I know I've told other people. And if I mentioned this already in the video, in one of the previous videos, there's that scene in Pulp Fiction where Samuel Jackson and John Travolta, you know, they're in the car and John Travolta blows the guy's head off and then they're like, what are we going to do? And Jackson's like, I got my boy here in Toluca Lake. They drive over there. It's Quentin Tarantino playing that part. And they got to clean up all the brains out of the car and everything. And they're on a timeline. They call Harvey Keitel to come in, the wolf, to figure out the situation. Because it's a volatile situation. Because if Quentin Tarantino's wife comes home and they show a clip, like a what-if fantasy of her flipping out and everybody's just scared of her, right? That's my sister. It kind of pisses me off. Forget about my sister for a minute, because I had this issue in LA recently with another friend of mine. There are some people in this world, men and women, who they do this thing, and it's a manipulation, and it's bullshit, and it really pisses me off, where they lose their shit at the drop of a hat and get all freaked out, freaking out. And because they do that, people want to avoid them doing that, so they avoid being honest with them. And then those people get their way. They've conditioned everybody around them that if they push their buttons, they're going to flip out, and nobody wants to be a part of that. So people kind of let them get away with their bullshit. That's bullshit. All right? I've had enough of it. So it's harder when you're related to the person. But that's the situation. So if you have somebody like that in your life, I don't know what to tell you. If it's possible for you to cut them out of your life, I suggest you do so. Because that's bullshit. Matter of fact, play them this video. And say, this is you. This is who he's describing right now. Because if it's pointed out to them in this way, kind of an indirect manner, maybe it'll help wake them up. All right? Because we've all had enough of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow. this is more of a thank you and an acknowledgement to those of you who in the comments have been pointing out to me that this place is for me and I seem happier here and everything else. You're not wrong. This is the plan. It's just not easy, you know, just snapping my fingers and making it happen. It's so funny too. I'm probably making this a bigger thing than it needs to be. It's not like the house is fine. I can move in the house just the way it is. I just don't like it. I don't like the inside of it. I don't like the wall, the texture on the walls, the ceiling. So I want to do all these things. My thought process is come here and do little bits here and there. Get a couple of the rooms kind of dialed so that when I do a move, I can get my stuff and kind of set up a room or two and then be able to work on the rest of it. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly. Obviously, I can move everything here and just work on the house at the same time. I could do that. I could choose not to work on the house at all and just live in it. I'm just in a weird headspace with it. I just don't know exactly what I'm doing. That's all. But the good news is there's a lot of positive options here. That's the main thing. And now that I know that I have, matter of fact, tomorrow night rather, I'm going to dinner, if I didn't mention this already, over my buddy Andrew's house. He's an attorney here in Sierra Vista. He's the guy I made the pedestal table for last spring. That walnut table with the Purple Heart butterfly mortises in the corners. He's a hunter. It's another thing I'm going to get into again. I grew up hunting as a kid. There's a lot of hunting in the area. And he's got elk steaks. So we're having elk steaks tomorrow night. We're going to smoke some cigars. He makes beer. He gave me a couple Guinnesses that he made the other day. I drank them the other night. So yeah, I know right now you're all typing comments already. See, it's all perfect. What are you waiting for? Just make it happen. It's going to be my timeline. You guys are just going to have to be patient. I'm just more patient than you are. That's all that's happening. I guess that's about it. I just wanted to say hi, give you a little content here. I know some of you have been jonesing. There's going to be a couple more videos before I leave. Namely, you know, I might even walk around the neighborhood tomorrow morning with the camera here. Just do a little walk around this development here. Again, this is Huachuca City. This development is kind of on the end of Huachuca City, and it's the newest one. This development was built around 2000, and it's the nicer area of Huachuca City. At least that's what I'm being told. I haven't really investigated a lot of it. There is a lot going on here, and it's a very nice town. And from everything I can see, people are very, very cool. So I'm happy about that. There's like no crime here. I talked to the cop about that today. His name's Jim, and nice guy. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, nothing happens here. You're cool. And I asked him about what I had found on the internet, because the only thing that happens here that's a little bit sketchy are these high-speed chases every once in a while. These are the coyotes that are, you know, smuggling illegals around. He said, don't worry about it. He goes, it'll happen right here on the 90 from time to time. He's like, they never drive in here because they can't go anywhere. They can't get out. There's only one way in, one way out. So people aren't breaking into houses here or anything like that. So it's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. What else can I tell you? What else can I tell you? I cannot keep this cigar. Let's give up on the cigar for now. I'll save it for tomorrow night. I guess that's about it. Let's just end this. We'll just keep this a short one. This isn't like a Sunday night chat. But this is what you have to look forward to. Once I have this place set up better, now that I understand my lighting here a little bit, while I'm here, I guarantee you at least one fireside chat every single time I'm here. And if I'm going to be here on a Sunday, and I'm going to do a Sunday night chat, this will be the environment, most likely. Once I set up things on the inside of the house here, I might set something up kind of like what I have in LA, and that'll be fun. And here's the great thing. A lot of the people I met in Bisbee, there's a lot of good video content there for you. So I can walk around, I can talk to these people about their businesses and where they came from, and hopefully I'll get to know this comedian guy. And I'm sorry, I feel really horrible that I can't think of his name. It's so crazy. This works in my favor. This reminds me of LA. There's somebody's Harley going down the highway. That's a pretty little ways away. I don't like that I can hear that. But it's nowhere near as bad as Los Angeles. I don't know what that is about, but that's rare. You don't hear that all day, every day. That is a weird, that's the first time I've heard that. I don't think that is a Harley. I think it's some truck in a low gear. What it is out here on the 90, here in Huachuca, the speed limit's only 45 miles an hour. But on either side, it's 65 miles an hour. So maybe that's what's going on. At any rate, this is not a great video, I don't think. You know me, I'm going to say I'm sorry. And you guys are going to say, you don't have to apologize, it's fine. The whole thing is exciting. It's just I'm a little bit off balance here. I'm not in my element, and I'm not 100% sure how things are going to go. I will say with the workout thing real quick, I was mentioning hitting the bag. I'm not used to working out like that. I mentioned in a short recently, I bought the weights and I kind of made a joke about, like, I got it into bodybuilding, should I have a separate channel? A couple people were like, yeah, get a separate channel. A few people were like, no, do it on the same channel. Just like I do everything else here. I'm not a one-trick pony. It's everything from the Astro van to the woodworking, to the history of my woodworking. Talking to you guys, whatever pops into my head, UFO stuff, Sasquatch, whatever it is, man. The one that got away, all these different series that I do, that's just going to be one more thing. I haven't weight trained in something like 15 years. And I used to. And I was a pretty buff guy, you know, when I was younger. I kind of gave up on it. In 2010, I started doing P90X, which got me jacked. And it taught me some lessons about staying fit. And those lessons have stuck with me. And I've maintained pretty well. But the thing is, excuse me, I'm 58 years old now. You know, I'm knocking on the door of 60 here. And what I know is weight training, resistance training, is about the healthiest thing you can do. And if you do it the right way, you can get cardio out of it and everything else. I had a couple silly comments, you know, well, over 50, you should only do high reps and low weights, and do whatever you want, man. If you want to grow, you got to lift heavy weight. That doesn't mean I got to become, you know, some sort of power lifter. I know what I'm doing, all right? I know about injuring myself with too much weight because I did it when I was young, and I'm not going to do that now. But I'm definitely going to lift heavy-ish. I'm not going to push it too crazy, but I'm going to grow in size a little bit because I want to. And when you're eating beef and eggs, and I'm taking my liver pills every day, and the other things that I do, combined with working hard and lifting shit throughout the day, doing man stuff, blue-collar work, carrying stuff around. When you lift things, you pick up something heavy and you walk around with it, let's say, you're loading your spine. And what's happening is that's sending a message to your whole body that your body needs to maintain a certain amount of muscle mass to continue doing that, right? So if you stop doing that stuff, your muscles start atrophying because you're not using them. Like, I know my calves look a little bit small right now because I haven't been riding a bike or anything like I used to. All that's about to change. I've been kind of slacking off here for the last couple of years, to be honest with you. The last few months in LA, I've been doing the right stuff, been doing these burpees and my push-ups and whatnot, and I'm seeing the difference. I just want to take it to the next level. And I'm bringing that up because today was the first time, I mentioned it a little earlier in the video, it was the first time I worked out in a bag in a long time. And it was funny because afterwards I had this thing in my upper chest. I was coughing a little bit because I'm not used to sucking in that volume of air, exerting myself physically. You know, it was crazy. Just hitting the bag for that amount of time, I got a whole muscle pump in my body. I was vascular, the veins were popping out, I got a chest, back, arm pump from it. It felt awesome, and that was just punching a bag. And that was my warm-up. Then I threw some weights around. So doing that it's going to be good for you, and you should be doing that. I'm going to do a video soon on male sexual health after the age of 50, because I was doing some research on it. I'm fine. Everything's working great. You know what I'm saying? Like, very, very well. I mean, every morning still, you know what I'm saying? There's sometimes it's, no, I know I'm offending some people here. Maybe this is a little weird, but this is me. You guys are used to me by now. But I'll tell you, for the last several months, I must have been doing something right because it's every single morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like, like I roll over this thing. It's like, what do I do with this thing? You know? And it's just because I've been healthy. I've just been eating real food, no junk. I pretty much cut all the sugar out. And so when you're healthy like that, it's all about blood flow. And I was watching something today, actually, this morning. It was a doctor, and he had all the receipts. By the way, this is a new thing. I know people didn't used to talk this way when I was younger, but this is the new thing. They got receipts, which just means you're backing up what you're saying with facts. There's a lot of studies on this, and he was showing these charts about male sexual health with age. Actually, they were talking about masturbation and things like that too. And the bottom line is, use it or lose it. So it's really interesting. They were talking about, well, I don't have to get all into it now. I'll do a video on it. But the point is, that's very, very important. And I keep running into people now. Now, guys won't just admit this to you. Like your buddies, you're a guy, you're hanging out with your friends. Most guys aren't going, well, I did a video chat right here several nights ago with an old girlfriend of mine and her husband. I've mentioned these people before. This is the guy, his favorite picture of his wife is a picture I took of her back in the 90s with her naked ass hanging out of my apartment. They're great people. I love these people. And he's super cool. And it was funny because he has a heart thing, but luckily everything's working right. But I asked him straight up, I mean, dick's working right? He's like, yeah, that's the one thing. That's working fine. So that was good for him. But with a lot of people, that's not the thing, you know? And I know a lot of women that are in my age range and younger who date guys that are 50 and above, and I hear from them that these guys aren't able to perform. And that bums me out. Bums me out because you can see why. And so I guess this is a cautionary tale for you guys. I'm just trying to help you out. But if you're having that kind of issue and you're not thin, right? Because the thinner guys, that seems to be not a problem. But if you got the weight and you're having a problem with that, you got to cut the weight, man. You got to cut the weight. You got to eat healthy. You have to eat less. You have to burn more calories. And you have to do some sort of resistance training. You have to do it. You got to get your blood flow going. And, I mean, if you're a younger guy and you're listening to this, Jordan might be watching this, never stop, man. Clean those pipes regularly. It is good for you. It's good for your prostate. It's good for everything. This thing where people are against self-gratification, let's put it that way, for religious purposes or whatever, that is a silly way to look at it. All right? Your body, you have to think of your body as a machine. It's like a car. You got to put the right stuff in it. And if you got a car and you don't drive it enough, that's when you start having problems. Like people have said to me about the Astro van, I'll talk about how fast I'm driving the van. They're like, that's not healthy in a car that's over 20 years old. Bullshit. Bullshit. That's exactly what it needs. If you talk to a mechanic that knows what the hell they're talking about, they're going to tell you, you need to get your vehicle on the highway at 80 miles an hour or more for an extended period of time because it burns the carbon out of the engine. Keeps it clean. You have to do that. If you have a car that's been sitting for a long time and you do that, you might blow some seals and create some problems. You're not supposed to let the vehicle get like that. Just like a person, if you go for years and you get fat, you got high cholesterol, and you've been eating shit and everything else, and all of a sudden you start pushing it too hard working out, you give yourself a fucking heart attack, right? So you got to be right about it. You got to cut the weight first. Slowly build some muscle mass. Get some cardio through weight training. Little by little, you can start building on that. You can become the healthiest you've ever been in your life at 50 years old. People do it all the time. Trust me on this. So this is one of the things I want to do with this channel all the time. I do it all the time. I'm trying to give you guys little nudges and a little bit of information. I I'm not used to this noise in the background. I've never heard this before here. I don't like it. But again, no helicopters over my head all night, you know, and all day like Los Angeles. No sirens all day, you know, no crazy people. In Bisbee, there's one crazy guy walking around. Again, I might have mentioned this in an earlier video. I talked to the guys about that last night. They're like, he's harmless. But I'm like, I don't know, man. That guy, if he steps to me with that kind of energy, I'm a little nervous about how I'm going to react to it. And as I was saying, I'm hitting the bag, and I'm not used to that kind of wind sucking, you know. It hurt me a little bit, which makes me realize I need to do it more. So I got to get on it, you know. I know some of you guys look at me and you think, oh, you look great now, and you look like you're pretty fit now, and compared to a lot of guys my age, that's true. But the trick is to never be complacent. Never think you're good enough. Never think that you're not, you know what I'm saying? Mentally, don't berate yourself. But you can't be walking around thinking that everything's fine when objectively you know it isn't. You have to be honest with yourself. No one's going to live forever. And a lot of people worked hard their whole lives, and now they just want to relax, and they want to lay around and do nothing, and they want to eat whatever they want, and they don't care about what they look like naked, and they don't care about being fat or anything else. Here's the thing. The more weight you have on you, the shorter your life expectancy is. And there's no argument there. Show me the list of 100-year-old people that are fat. Show me that. Get up off your fat ass, and yes, this is me fat shaming again. A bunch of old fat people get pissed off at me when I talk like this. They put in the comments. They complain to other people I know, and I hear about it, you know. I'm just trying to help you out, man. Go slow. Watch some videos. Figure it out. I'd like you to be here long enough to see me do really well. All right? Let's help motivate each other to be the best we can be. Because the thing is, too, it's not even about trying to live longer. It's about trying to have a good quality of life up until your last day here. Like, you don't want the last 10 years of life to be misery with swollen joints and not being able to move. You don't want that, right? You don't want to have to be taking all kinds of medications to thin your blood and go to sleep and wake up and all these other things. I don't take pills. I mean, as far as medication, I'm on 0 meds. I take no medication whatsoever. I take 2 liver pills in the morning. I've been doing 2 biotins in the morning with it, hoping it'll help my hair grow. It ain't working. I'm telling you right now, it's kind of crazy. I'm just vain enough. I'm not so vain I'd be gay. The gay guys are really vain. I'm not that guy. But the hair thing is a thing that I look at it and there is something you can do. It's really funny. I've been watching these videos. It would look really weird for like a year, but for about $4,000, you can go to Turkey. It's crazy. And they take the hair off the back of your neck and whatnot, and they replant it. You can have like 5,000 hair transplants up here, and you can have your hairline back, and it's awesome. And it works. It's your own hair. It's not some rug or something. And I look at that, and I'm thinking, you know, I mean, that's not a lot of money. You can come up with that money pretty quick. Why not do that? I don't know if I'm really going to do that. It looks horrible when you do it. But a year later, you got a full head of hair with your hairline back again. I don't know. What do you guys think? You let me know. I know a lot of you are going to say, no, you're fine. Right now, it's a mess. You can't. Probably looks like hell. You know what it is? It's just me. I look a lot balder in the videos than I do when I'm out and about. At least it seems that way to me. It's the one thing that bothers me. So, you know. I don't know. I'm just, you guys know me. I'm an open book with this. Anyhow, I think I'm going to end it there. I gave you guys a lot to think about, and I've probably been talking for about an hour, so I hope you appreciate this. I did this all for you. It literally took me about 30 minutes of figuring this out, moving stuff around to figure out how I could set this up. I had this thing back there. It was too far away from the mic. I wanted to get the fire in the frame. I wanted to make sure Clint Eastwood was there for you guys. I know you miss Clint. I got a lamp here. It's got to go back in the bedroom. I took the shade off of it. I think it's giving me enough light. I did like a 30-second check on this, so it seemed like it was okay. And now I'm going to go back in the house. I'm going to finish watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind director's cut on the computer, because now is the time with everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Next couple days will be some more videos coming out. It'll be interesting about town here. I'll show you guys some of the town. How's that sound? And probably meet some of my friends. And then it's looking like probably Saturday morning I'll be driving back to LA. So you guys will get a Sunday night chat back in the pad, and we'll see what's going on from there. Have a great night. Be kind to one another. Hope I didn't ruffle too many feathers. I'll catch you guys in the next one.